Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Dbacks Dispatch. We are just a duet tonight. Brett is having fun at Dave and Buster's. So, Brett, if you're watching this, I hope you're having fun there. But it's just Brandon and Gabe here tonight. So, hopefully, we won't go on too many tangents. And yes, I'm calling you out, Brett. You sometimes go on a little bit of a tangent. So, hopefully, we won't go too long here. But we just completed a 3-game series against the St. Louis Cardinals, and we lost another series. Like, I can't believe we lost this series. Like, losing these kind of series, they drive me crazy because we are so much better than the St. Louis Cardinals. I know a lot of experts at the beginning of the year predicted Cardinals to win the Central, and after playing them twice in a week, I don't see it. That team is a mess right now. So, Gabe, how are you feeling after the series?
Mostly just disappointed. Like, I'm not mad. I'm disappointed because we should have won the series. But I feel like I say that every week that we come on here. Like, they should have won the series. They should have swept the series. Like, we were in line to win all 3 games, and then they just, whether it was the offense, the pitching, the bullpen, everything. It's just like, if it wasn't one thing, it wasn't the other, and it's just piling on and piling on. Like, these are games that we should be winning, and for whatever reason, they're just not winning. Like, it's frustrating to watch because you're like kind of throwing your hands in the air, and you're like, well, what now? Like, what do we do? Like, what's the solution here? Like, is there a solution? Because, I mean, I know we're, missing a few key guys, but if they come back, is it going to be the same still? And I don't know.
Yeah, to me, that is one of the big questions with this team right now is with all these guys out, is that, and them coming back, is that going to immediately fix the issues? I personally feel the big one with the bullpen with Seawald coming back, it will. Because now you don't, because I think right now a big thing with Torrey is what does he do with the 7th? Because he can't bring in Thompson, because who does he bring in the 8th? Because he has to have Gingle with the 9th. Like, I think that's the big thing right now. So Seawald did have a rehab start, I believe it was Tuesday. Struck out 2, looked really good. So he went back to Phoenix, and they're going to reevaluate him to see, does he need another one, or is he good to go? Fingers crossed. I think it'd be really great if we could get him back when we're in Seattle. I think that would be awesome because that is who we play next. But no, like, game 1 was okay. Like, it was one of those games where I think Torrey might have overmanaged a little bit. And this game, we got a Jekyll and Hyde of Brandon Pfaadt.
Yeah, like, especially like he was cruising, and then, I mean, it was 3 runs, right? 6 innings, 3 runs or 2 runs?
2 runs.
2 runs. Yeah, so that should be enough to win. Like, you're telling me, like, if I were to tell you Brandon Pfaadt went out there and gave us 6 innings and 2 runs, you think, okay, that's a pretty easy win, right? Nope, they were fighting for their life, and then the bullpen came in and messed it up. But also, I think they took out Thompson.
He kind of started to mess it up himself there. Dude, this start for me with him was so weird. He sits down the first 12, and he looks like playoff Brandon Pfaadt, looks like one of the best pitchers on the staff. The 6th inning was an absolute freaking mess. I don't know what happened. So
he started nibbling. That's what he started doing. He started nibbling. He was attacking the whole game, but then he just started to nibble around the corner. So he gave up some walks, some hits, and I mean, that's what happens. Like, I don't know what happened there, if the game plan changed, or maybe he got a little too maybe a little too jumpy, maybe wasn't sure of himself. I don't know what happened, but I mean, he still gave up 2 runs. I mean, as much of a disaster as it was 2 runs, and
Yeah,
still his stat line of the day: 6 innings, 2 runs. Like they should have won this game, but then in the seventh they score a run, so they tie it, and then again in the ninth they score another run, and then again at that point you're like, I mean, McGough gave up a run, and then Thompson, and then Nelson, and then it's like, I mean, when does it end? Like it's just
I know.
frustrating these type of games where it's like, and also the offense, 3 runs. I mean, they're averaging. I think if you take out, I mean, it's not the way the math works, obviously, but if we take out those offensive explosions, they're averaging around 4 runs a game, which is right around league average. And they couldn't even manage that this time. They scored 3 runs in the big leagues is not, unless you have Edwin Diaz and like prime Max Scherzer out there. 3 runs is not going to win you a whole lot of games.
No, it is really not. So this was the first time that the Diamondbacks faced Lance Lynn since the 4-homer game. I was a little disappointed that they give a lot of references in the first and second inning, and then after that it kind of stopped. So I kept a tally. It was only 4 times. I felt like it should have. Like I was expecting 10. Like I was expecting like 2 or 3 every inning, especially when either Marte was up, Moreno was up. Who else had one? Because Domo's out. Who am I missing? Who else had a homer against Lynn?
And the 4 home run.
Yeah, because it was Domo.
Was Perdomo,
Walker.
Patel, Walker, and then Moreno.
Yeah, so like I was expecting them to do it like every at bat, and they did it for about the first 2 innings, and then Berthium stopped. But that's not what I'm mad at Steve Berthium about in this game. Every time Goldie's up, he's like, "Oh, Goldie has 1 extra base hit. And it was the first game of the season. He's probably going to be due." And what does this man do in his at bat in the 7th? Literally says it right before the pitch. And what does Goldie do? Goes to right center for a home run. Like, this might be a little bit of an overreaction by me, but I cannot stand these Steve Berthium curses. And it's not just him. Brenly does it too. But Brenly actually wasn't the side guy with Berthium in this one. It was Candy, which I love way more than Brenly because I swear Berthium's not bad. It's just with him with Brenly sometimes they just they laugh at weird stuff and they bring up weird stories sometimes.
Yeah, so I mean, kind of like those guys and was it the Muppets? Like those 2 guys in the balcony.
Yes, that's what those 2 are. Sometimes when like the game gets out of hand. So yeah, Goldie hits that home run, and it was his first extra base hit since game 1 of the season. Dude, I don't know what's going on with Goldie. I know Goldie some seasons has a slow start, but this is like he couldn't hit water if he fell out of a boat.
He is not seeing the ball. Like today, he had a pop up that he just couldn't. Like he looked like mad that he couldn't see the ball or something because I think he hit the fence or something or the net, and he looked pissed off that he couldn't see it. And I feel like at this point maybe he just is not picking up the ball the way he used to. I mean, he was looking fine last year still, but for some reason, I don't know if it just needs to adjust or contacts. Like I really don't know at this point. Like it's kind of a really hard regression for Goldie. So I mean, I truly don't know. I don't know what the issue is in this case. I mean, he might have to adjust his swing a little bit because he starts up, with the bat so diagonal to the floor and everything, like all the way back, on his back. Especially when they're throwing heat at him, getting the bat from all the way up here to down to the zone, it's a little bit harder. Like he might have to like adjust it a little bit so he's, a little bit closer or ready to swing. Because he doesn't have the bat speed anymore like he used to. But
no,
he killed us twice the series. I mean, that's all they needed.
Yeah. But for me personally, Torrey lost us this game. Torrey lost.
Yeah.
His bullpen decisions in the ninth. In this game, I don't understand. Like Thompson's at 12 pitches. Like sometimes he's so matchup reliant that it just drives me crazy. I'm like Torrey. Sometimes you just gotta let the guys pitch. Like Thompson's at 12 pitches. He gave up the single to Goldie. I understand that Nolan Gorman is not hitting well right now. Lefty matchup. You probably felt good about it. Nelson throws one stinking pitch and Gorman walks it off. Like it's right in the happy zone. Of course he's going to destroy it. Kid's from Phoenix, by the way, which is great. But I'm like Nelson, you couldn't at least give a couple pitches. You threw one pitch. Like that feels like a wasted outing to me. You get up, you warm up in the bullpen, you throw your warm up pitches out on the field, and you throw one actual game pitch.
So, I mean, he threw it straight down the middle too. It's not like it wasn't even a competitive pitch. It wasn't like it was, an inside changeup or something that he just got. And you're kind of like, well, I mean, it is what it is. He got a good pitch. Like, what can you do about it? It wasn't, a pitcher's pitch. It wasn't anything. It was literally an uncompetitive 84 mile per hour, whatever curve slider straight down the middle. It's like, if you don't hit that, you probably should be sent out to the minors. Like, because, I mean, what else? That you dream of those type of hits or pitches, and that's what he got. And so he hit it for a home run. So, I mean, I don't think he should have taken Thompson out. They had one out. So, and
Oscar, you're right. The ball before the scorebook popped up. So yeah. We then, after this game in the post game press conference, says Torrey said some moves going to be made. There was a guy in the bullpen who was hurt, and then we all started to theorize, like, who could it be? Like, it obviously, like, some people initially thought Ginkel because he didn't pitch, but he was warming up, so it wasn't him. Probably wasn't anyone that pitched that day. So Nelson, Thompson, we got a plethora of moves on Tuesday. So we signed for like the billionth time, or traded for Sergio Alcantara. Like, I swear he's been on this team like 5 times. We then brought up Andrew Sulfrink, and we signed. It's pronounced Joe Jacks. Someone was making a joke, and that joke went completely over my head. I don't know what you guys were trying to say on that.
Joe Jacks off.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was, but I'm like, that's not how the name's pronounced.
Is it Jocks?
Jacks.
Joe Jocks, or
no, it's Joe Jacks.
Yeah, so Joe's Jacks.
Yeah. So then we brought up Tommy Henry. Merrill went on the 15-day IL, and it was back starting on the 20th. So that was a couple days. We recalled Justin Martinez. Miguel Castro went on the 15-day IL with. I swear this is just basically their arm or sore. Right shoulder inflammation. Like, shoulder inflammation to me is like, yes, you're probably hurt, but is it an actual?
It's one of those what do they call it? The IL manipulation that every team does this. Like,
and the reason why the Mets got in trouble last year. So we made all those moves on Tuesday. So why don't we just talk about Tuesday's game? Tuesday game is the game we want to talk about. So as we see on our little overlay here, we won 14-1. We won this game 14-1, and I don't know what it is. There are certain games with this team. It's like, oh, it's the 5th inning, it's the 6th inning. Let's just score a bunch of runs. Just so many runs. Like, it was absolutely crazy. Walker gets a 3-run homer in this game. And like we tweeted, his home run swing is one of my favorite ones to watch. It's so smooth and effortless for him. Like, just you can see Contreras back there. Oh god, this one's gone. Like, he knew. Like Christian, I still think he's one of the most underrated players in baseball. I don't think he gets the recognition that he deserves. I think defensively people are starting to see it, but I think offensively he still doesn't get the props that I feel like he should. We could also call this the Pavin Smith game. I don't know what happened. Pavin has 6 RBI. Hey, St. Louis, since he's hit his 2 career grand slams at Busch Stadium, do you want to trade for him? Because Pavin Smith for Paul Goldschmidt. Who says no?
Yeah, I mean, 6 RBI in one game. I mean, Goldie has maybe even 10 this whole season. So, I mean, you want a washed up player or you want a young 27-year-old redhead?
Yeah, like, and he almost had 2 home runs in this game. Like, his first hit that double to left, missed it by about 3 feet. Like, if he gets it 3 or 4 feet higher, that's a 3-run homer. I just, like, as soon as he hit it, I'm like, that's a grand slam. I'm like, this ruins my agenda that's saying Pavin Smith is mid when he hits a home run like that. Like, it doesn't fit my agenda, and I was like, no, this is not how this is supposed to go.
Pavin, this is what we want though. Like, for Pavin, I never expected much from him. I know we got him in the first round, but I was never expecting him to be great. Like, I saw him, when he was in like his clips from high school and college, and I was like, he doesn't. I didn't like that we drafted him in the first place. I never thought he was all that good. But I mean, he's been in the big leagues up and down, his whole career. But we've seen who he is. He's a 150 hitter, unfortunately, or 200, like under the Mendoza line. If this season he can hover around anywhere from 235 to 250, and that's all we need. That's all we need from him. We don't need him to be an everyday guy. We just need him to be a consistent bat off the bench, a guy who's going to get on base. Like, he walks a lot. Like, if he's able to put the bat on the ball, singles, whatever, it doesn't matter.
If this man could play shortstop, that would be so great. Like, if this man was a shortstop, he would be on this roster. I think that what he did in the last 2 days has earned him a spot to be here for at least 2 months.
Yeah, especially with the
way he could go like 2 for 20 in the next 2 weeks, and I think the team would be fine with it. I'm very curious, like, because there's a lot of guys on the roster right now that once all these guys are healthy, I'm very curious as to who gets moved. I personally would have said Jake McCarthy originally. Jake's hitting too well right now. Jake is hitting over 300, I believe, at this point. Let's see. Jake is hitting... Yeah, he's hitting 315. 17 to 54. Like, you can't take him down because of that speed. And he's hitting.
I mean, especially with 54 at bats, that's no longer, it's super small sample size. Like, he's clearly seeing the ball well, and he's batting pretty well. With the speed on the bases. I want to talk about it just because we have to, but Corbin, like, again, another really bad series. He had maybe 2 hits.
Like your brother is saying,
they dropped him down to 7th today. It's really, it seems like there's a simple fix to a certain extent with Corbin, which is just don't swing at the first pitch. That's it. Just take one pitch every at bat. Just take the first pitch. Doesn't matter if it's straight down the dick. Like, it doesn't matter. Just take one pitch.
Did you just say straight down the dick?
Yeah. But I mean, he doesn't. He swings at the first pitch, and then he just grounds out or pops it up, and it's like he's killing innings over and over again. And just like, why why
That's
keep
why he got
doing
moved.
that? Like I don't understand it. And like I said, he's still seeing the ball relatively well. He's striking out a little bit more than he was earlier, but it's still like one of those things where take a pitch. That's it. Just take one pitch, see it, and then start your routine again. But for some reason, he's just fallen in love with swinging at the first pitch, and it's just like he almost seems like he wants to get himself out at this point, and I don't know what the fix is there.
Yeah. It's either he swings at the first pitch or he strikes out or it's a walk. Like those are his three results right now. Like doesn't do
Yeah,
anything else. Like the amount of like 2-3 strikeout games he's had the last week is really starting to be a concern for me. But I do want to say congratulations to Randall Grichuk. He is now at 1,000 career hits. So congratulations to him. I think that's a major milestone. Like that's really hard to do. That is playing consistently for, let's say, 7 seasons at least, probably, because it's like you got to think like maybe like 100, 120 hits. So congratulations there to Randall Grichuk. We have a couple of other milestones. I believe Gurriel needs 3 more home runs for 100 career home runs. So hopefully he gets that here soon. I don't think he's going to do it this weekend unless he goes on a tear against
yeah,
Seattle. I would love for him to do it against the Dodgers or San Diego, which is who we play
yeah.
at home next week. So that'll be exciting. Kevin Newman, what got into you? I don't know who tweeted it, but someone basically tweeted he's gonna get tested for something because that was an absolute bomb that Kevin Newman hit. Like he hit into Mark McGwire, Big Mac land territory.
Yeah,
Like I was
that
like,
ball was launched. So it was crazy. I was like, oh, like it just kept going. Like on the broadcast, you see it. It's like it just keeps going, and suddenly you look up, you're like, oh shoot, that like actually hit Big Mac land. Like, god damn. Like I don't
yeah,
know if
like
I've
he
ever
got.
seen something like that like in a while. I mean, it's been a while since a D-back hit it that high up. I mean, I would imagine maybe Walker might have hit one up there, but damn, I think it was launched.
So 103 exit velo with a 34 launch angle, 390 feet. Like it feels like it went farther than 390 feet, but it also went high, not just
Yeah,
distance wise. So yeah, that was definitely.
would that have
I
been
was
at
like, oh,
the? Would that have been at the? What's it called? It's not Fridays Front Row anymore. Whatever that one is now. Like, do you think it would have been
cold
that high?
beer and
Oh
yeah,
yeah, it's cold beer and
yeah,
cheeseburger. Right? It would have
yeah,
hit up
cold
there.
beer and cheeseburgers. Pavin Smith grand slam was 101 off the bat with a 23 exit velo at 406. Would have been a home run in everywhere but Oracle, which makes sense. Right center,
Yeah.
like yeah,
That would have just
that.
been a hard triple.
No, that
Or
would
was
have been
it
a double
yeah.
for Pavin.
Yeah.
Depends on how it ricochets off that wall. Like you never know.
Yeah.
Like does it go straight down? Does it come at an angle? Does it go rogue? Like
Yeah.
I would not want to be a center field or right field there because you never, and that's why you see so many guys way off the right field line because they're
Yeah.
like, you're like, even if you hit it down there, what are you gonna do? Just hit a double. Like very rarely is that a single. So you just, and that freaking gap there in right center is so deep, triples alley.
Yeah.
So
I wonder if the ball, like, if you hit it that hard once it ricochets, like, I wonder if it dents the ball at all. Because I feel like it would have to, like, at least mess with it a little bit, so it could take some of the stitching out, or you know, kind of make a little bit of a dent in it. Because
yeah.
I mean, you're hitting a brick wall.
Yeah. Another thing, teams, when are you gonna learn? Stop running on Gabby. Like seriously, like you're just throwing outs away at this point. Like you give him any sort of a relatable pitch, he's gonna throw you out.
Yeah, he's just incredible to watch. Every time he's like, "Oh, runner's going," it's like Alec Thomas in center. Once you see it, you're like, "Oh, he's got it." Like, there's no worry there. Like, you're surprised that they actually get it. Like, I don't know. Everyone talks about Yadi Molina. I'm like, I don't. I feel like even to a certain extent, Yadi was never this good. Where as soon as they would run, you would think, "Yeah, he's got him." Like with Yadi, it felt like it was, you know, a large majority of the time. It seems with Gabby, it's like every single time he does it, he gets a runner, they get him out, especially that throw to Suarez, like literally right on the runner's foot. Like it was crazy. It was the
Like,
absolute most
that's the
perfect
thing.
throw.
He has so many throws that the fielder doesn't have to really move their glove. They just got to hold it and tag him. Like,
Yeah, I mean that's
sometimes you'll
and it.
see like good catches where it's offline, so they got to bring it back and make the
Yeah,
tag. Gabby, it's more like ball's right there and just tag the guy's foot or his knee. So
yeah,
yeah,
because there's
Gabby,
times like that where certain guys will make a play like that, and then they have another runner and he'll throw it offline. But when Gabby's throwing it to that side of the bag at that perfect angle, it's like, yeah, that's where he meant to throw it. He wasn't trying to throw it, around that area. He meant to throw it there, and it's just he's just an amazing catcher. And it's crazy that we have like a franchise catcher this early in the D-backs run because he's still a few years away from arbitration. I'm like, sign him to a longer term deal. Like this
right?
needs to be
Yeah,
done now. Like because even if he doesn't bat, I mean he's batting really well still. Even if he doesn't, just his pop time, his arm, everything is just like you need him. You need him on this team. He takes really good control of the staff. I mean, the only one he doesn't is just the bullpen, but you can't really blame him for those choices. I mean, the bullpen's got to make their pitches.
yeah. One thing that not a lot of people were talking about due to the score, Tommy Henry looked
Mhm.
amazing. This was huge for him. I thought we were going to get another clunker from him because he gave up that bomb to Contreras in the second inning. I'm like, oh, great. Here we go again. After that, dominant. 6 innings, 5 hits, 6 Ks on 93 pitches. Like, he's so up and down. Like, he'll have one start like this, and then he'll have the one start he had against the Cubs. And I find it funny. He was sent down to Reno, never actually was in Reno because they were in Salt Lake City. Like, he was only there for like 4 or 5 days. All he did was throw a bullpen session, which I'm not like that. Like, that does worry me a little bit that we had to bring him back because of injuries. But looks like we got some news today that Ryan Nelson should only be out for the 15 days, which is good. Merrill, that one might be longer. Like, that one has me really concerned.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, like, the guys that we have still, like, I trust them enough. I trust the team of Zach Gallen, Jordan Montgomery, Brandon Fott, Ryan Nelson, and Tommy Henry as the fifth starter. I mean, even if Tommy goes out there and gives you 5 runs, like with the adequate offense, they should be fine. Like they should be fine without it. You don't want to see him out for that long, especially with Erod out, and it's like there's enough pitching depth, I think, in this organization because we still got Saccone, we still got Walston, we have certain guys still. I mean, Saccone's up, but we have certain guys in the minors that I think can take some of their spots and do spot starts if needed. Um, so I'm not worried yet. I'm frustrated, but I'm not worried yet. I think if we were entering September and Merrill was still out and Erod was still out, I think at that point I would probably hit the panic button a little more.
Yeah, so hopefully Merrill's not out too long. But yes, we had a third game. I really don't want to talk about it because offense did that thing that they always do. The amazing Brett Johnson did tweet this out. D-backs are 1-6 on days following when they score 6+ runs. They have been outscored 23-42 and haven't scored more than 5 runs in a single game. Following today's loss against the Cardinals, 9-58 as a team with runners in scoring position in the lat. Like that's just crazy. 9 of 58. Are you kidding me with this? Like
Yeah,
that's
like I was saying to you earlier, like when we were talking about this, like these things get to a point where they're no longer, a coincidence or an outlier. This is a pattern.
155. They're batting 155 with runners in scoring position.
Yeah. So I mean, this is a pattern we've been seeing over and over after a big blow up game like they had the other day, to then suddenly they can't score at all. And it's so frustrating. And also, like, I just want to say, like, I know guys need their rest. Obviously, Marte's been playing a lot, Guerrero's playing a lot. These aren't guys that you want to take out at the same time.
Yeah, that
They
didn't.
are your primary run scorers. They're the ones who hit the most. Guerrero leads the team in RBI. These are not the guys you want to have both at the same time. Have one out, especially because it's a day off tomorrow. Like, play them both or maybe just one. It's like, I don't, this is my frustration with Torrey. And I know we're not allowed to judge Torrey because took this team to the playoffs. So he's, an almighty, freaking God figure to people now. So we can't question him. But he's always done this where they have a day off and then he takes out his best player out of the lineup for a day. And you're like, why are you doing that? Like, I don't get it. Like, I
I
know
don't
there's still some
understand.
off
We have an
days.
off day tomorrow. Like, that's
Yeah.
what I don't understand about this move. Both of them, like, I'm fine with one of them, but like both of because they're your only two consistent hitters right now. Everyone else, like Suarez looked good on Monday. He did not look good on Tuesday and Wednesday.
Yeah, especially because it's like, if you want them off their feet, that's what the DH position is for. You have it right there, and Gurriel and Marte both hit well from the DH position this year. So why not put them in? If you want them to get rest, put them in as DH. Just have them, sitting down most of the time, and then just coming out and you know trying to get a hit. And that's what we needed this time because we had traffic around the bases all game, and again, they just couldn't do anything with it. If we had Gurriel or we had Cattell, like this game could have switched, and we didn't have to, bring in the bullpen guys that we did, where we lost the lead completely. Like, put this out of hand. And props to Montgomery. He 7 innings, 3 runs. Like, he pitched his ass off. I mean, he had some issues, but 7 innings and 3 runs, that should win you a game. If he allowed 1 run in 9 innings, we still don't. We were tied. Like, that's how bad the offense is. So it's like, what's the fix here? Like, I don't understand, especially in this case where it's like we're struggling to get runs in general as a team over and over again. And you take out your 2 best players and most consistent hitters for, it's not like the guys that they put in were bad necessarily, but you have the numbers with them, with runners in scoring position and everything. And you're seeing that Cattell and Gurriel both hit really well with runners in scoring position or runners on base in general. And they just weren't in the game, both of them today. It's like, I don't get it. It will never make sense to me.
Yeah. Yeah, that I'm to be honest, I'm glad I didn't watch live because I probably would have been angry tweeting. Because that like I didn't understand that. Like and so they gave Blaze an error in this game. I disagree. That was a very hard hit ball. So I'm not like people gonna say, oh, he got another error. That's a hard play to make. Like that was not a routine play. Mason Wynn hit a freaking bullet at him. Like that's a really hard play to make. So I'm not so worried about him making that error. Because that is a very hard play to make. Jock.
Oh, I forgot to bring up.
We just need to
Gabby
face righties.
Gabby came out of the game. He didn't play this game either. He just came in as a pinch hitter. I was wondering, like, I know there's another guy out. Gabby, after getting a whole bunch of hits in these last few days, they sat him down and then put him in as a pinch hitter, and it's like
that one I don't mind because I want him to get as much rest now because I think once we get to August and September, he may have to play every day because we see how this pitching is when he's behind the plate. It's just like it's not that Tucker Barnhart has been bad. He's batting 200, and I'm fine with that because Tucker's not going to be playing probably more than 200, 220 at bats, maybe 250, depending on if he plays well. Which he's done a good job. Like that's the thing about Tucker Barnhart is it's not like a major drop. Like it's not an automatic out. when he's in there, which is always what it was when Jose Herrera would play. Is you'd be like, oh, there's 3 easy outs.
Yeah. But I mean, like I said, I get that obviously with Gabby, you don't want to play every day. But again, it's your 3 currently best offensive hitters all out of the lineup on the same day. If you're going to do that, take out 2 of them or 1 of them. You can't do this every game, especially on a getaway day with the day off in between. Like, this is like has always been one of my main frustrations with Torrey, because this, like, if you look at the lineup in the morning, I saw and I was like, are they kind of just giving up today? Like, it seemed like such a weird lineup. Like, everyone's all over the place, and it's just like, it felt like such a give me to the Cardinals, where I'm like, I know the Cardinals aren't the best team, but like, you can't just wave the white flag already. Like, it seemed like that's kind of what they did, just putting out the lineup they did today. And like I said, with the day off tomorrow, if they're going, to Seattle and playing tomorrow in Seattle, that'd be like, okay, I get it. What can you do? Sometimes you just have to, accept a loss one of these days. But it's just, man, it's frustrating. And yeah, like, I don't know the solution here. I mean, we have a lot of guys out, and the issue is always going to be, this isn't the NBA. This isn't, Devin Booker coming back and he's going to score 30 points a game. This is when Alec comes back, when Perdomo comes back. What are they going to do? Are they going to come out hot, or are they going to struggle a little bit because it's baseball and that happens?
Yeah, definitely does. So we lose another series. I think we're 2 games under 500 at this point. So, but again, it's still early. Our next series we got here is we're going, like Gabe said, we're going up to Seattle. Pitching matchups are Zach Gallen versus TBD on Friday. Saturday is TBD versus TBD. And Sunday is TBD versus TBD. So all right now we know is Gallen starts on Friday. So I think if rotation, I think Saturday would be Slade. Right? Yeah. Saturday would be Slade. And then Sunday, that wouldn't be Fott, would it?
I think it would be Fott. Yeah, because he pitched Monday.
Okay. So yeah. I like those matchups. The only thing that worries me is Julio Rodriguez got his first home run of the season. So he got that monkey off his back, so I'm worried that he's going to start getting hot. Julio, if you could just wait till Monday to do that, that would be great.
I mean, Rojas too, he's looking really good. And what's his face? The other guy we gave up, he's looking really good too.
Canza?
Yeah. They're both looking really good this season, but I mean, I feel like the Mariners having the same issues as the Dbacks. They kind of like refuse to win sometimes. So with the way, these games have gone for both these teams, it might just be like,
they are
whoever accidentally wins. Yeah.
So their pitching staff, though, so good. Like, Castillo's good, Gilbert's good, George Kirby is good. Yeah. Like, they got some solid guys. I saw someone leave a comment on a Gabby video last week. Like, why didn't we trade for him? I'm like, because he wasn't for sale. Like, why would we ask for Suarez and give you like literally one of the best catchers in baseball? Like, don't do that. But yeah, I don't know how the series is gonna go. It's really hard to predict because we don't know the pitching matchup for 2 of the 3. But I really feel like Torrey needs to play the main guy. Like, Cattell and Gurriel need to play all 3. I would like to see Gabby play all 3 as well. Like, I think we need to get some momentum because we keep doing this where we're like, we'll win like 2, lose 1, win 3, lose. Like, we need to get on a streak going because I want to get over 500. I don't like staying under 500 because it just makes me feel like they're gonna get in that habit that it's fine to not go on a streak. So I want them to go on like a 4 or 5 game win streak, lose 1, go on another 4 or 5 game win streak. Because this team is too talented. Now, we have the injury bug so bad right now. Like, if you just look at who we got hurt, it doesn't make me feel great. I feel like Alec though was really close, and I think Seawald is also very. I think those two could be back within the week. That's just my personal feeling. I have no sources that say it. I just it's a feeling that I feel like they're both pretty close.
Yeah, and I feel like they're not rushing Alec either because Jake is hitting so well too. Yeah. So,
but when the Corbin's time comes, not though. Like that's the thing.
It's like, what do you? I feel like there's gonna be a lot of hard decisions to make once Alec comes back because you need Alec. This defense is not the same without Alec. Like Corbin has been doing pretty well, but it's not the same as having a shutdown defender out there. Same with having Gabby behind the plate. It's a shutdown guy. Like these, the whole runners on. So it's like if you got a guy on second, the ball is hit to deep left center. They don't run if they see Alec out there. They wait to see if the ball falls or not, and that's the difference between scoring a runner or not sometimes. So, it's just I don't know if you send Carroll down.
No.
I don't think they would.
Now this will be Carroll's first series. I think I just looked at the 2023 schedule. We didn't play at Seattle. Now he played there during the All-Star game, and I don't think we played there when he came up in 2022. So I believe this is going to be his first regular season game there in Seattle. So maybe seeing family, being back home, give him some confidence, break him out of his funk. That's what I'm hoping. That. So that's my bold prediction. Carroll has at least 6 hits in this series. I think he go 6 for 10, 6 for 11 in the 3 games with a couple of walks and 3 or 4 stolen bases.
Yeah, I don't even know what my prediction would be. Maybe all 3 games go to extras. That's what I feel like. I feel like they're going to refuse.
I could not handle that.
That would be mine. All 3 games go to extras.
Oh my god! If we go to extras in game 1, I'm blaming you. I'm gonna go, Gabe. Why did you do this? My heart can't handle extra. It doesn't matter when in the year it is. Extras just cause me just panic.
Yeah.
Just because it's it should only last 1 inning. You have a guy on second, butt him over, sack fly. I don't understand how it's, or do 2 fly balls. You have a guy on second. The fact that some teams can't do it.
Yeah, it's also I hate the runner on base rule, especially with these. I understood it. Yeah, I understood it. Obviously during COVID, and also before the pitch clock. I think at this point with the pitch clock, the games are moving quick enough that you don't need the runner there anymore. It's just, man, I don't like it at this point. I think once you get to the 11th, I think they should institute it. Or even the 12th. So, give the 10th, give them a chance. If not, the 11th, give them a chance. If not, then 12th, put the Manfred runner on just to get it over with. Because, again, you're trying to protect pitchers and stuff too. So it's you can't have, especially if this is the first game, they go to 12, 13 innings, then the series completely changes at that point. And you have guys who are not going to be available into the next series. So that's why it's I hate extras, and I would hope they don't go to 11 all 3 times. But I feel with the way these teams are going, both
with our bullpen, I to be honest, I don't think they go to extras 3 straight.
But that's what I'm saying. That's Seattle, the way they've been playing. They're going to refuse to win. So, it's going to be just passing the ball back and forth, trying to see who loses first or wins first by accident. Yeah,
well, for me, just win the series. That's all I care about. I don't care how you do it. Win 2 of the 3. And then we got a big week coming up after this. We got 2 divisional opponents who are ahead of us in the standings. So those are the teams that you got to beat. Is the teams that are in front of you, and who are challenging for the division. So hopefully they can brush this off. This just bad loss against the Cardinals. This was not a good game for them. So if this is your first time on the channel, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe so you don't miss any of our future videos. We do series recaps. Occasionally we do do a live episode after a game, depending on how the game goes. We're in for a long season. Be ready. See y'all next time.